humanity remains deeply captivated by the quest to locate a cosmic escape pod, a duplicate Earth, a planetary refuge resting quietly in the shadows for the moment our own home planet eventually reaches its expiration date. Quite naturally, our collective attention gravitated toward the nearest reachable boundary within the vast interstellar expanse. The Alpha Centauri system. Situated at a distance of just over 4 light-years from us, this neighboring system rests a mere fraction of an inch away when measured on a grand galactic scale. However, the true ruler dominating that specific patch of space is not the radiant, glowing pair of twin stars we can easily see shining from Earth. Tucked away deep within their massive shadows, coasting like a silent phantom through the freezing interstellar dark, rests a completely different entity, Proxima Centauri. Cruising in orbit around this faint, low-luminosity star is a solid, rocky world that has firmly gripped the intense, desperate aspirations of our entire human species, a planet known as Proxima b. This extraterrestrial body possesses roughly the same mass as Earth and is positioned exactly inside the star's habitable zone, which represents that incredibly narrow orbital band where liquid water could theoretically pooling on a surface. To our ears, it sounds like absolute salvation, a pristine celestial oasis just waiting to be explored and settled by mankind. Unfortunately, being close to us does not automatically mean it is safe. This closest planetary neighbor to human civilization is by no means a welcoming sanctuary. Instead, it is an incredibly lethal, inescapable environmental trap. Stepping away from the protective, nurturing radiance of our familiar yellow sun instantly reveals the profound magnitude of this deep space deception. Crossing a distance of 4 light-years might sound like a brief trip, but the immense stretches of deep space remain profoundly hostile to human psychology. Even if we were coasting along at the maximum velocity of our quickest current spacecraft, the journey would require more than 70,000 years of traveling through pitch-black, absolutely freezing emptiness just to arrive at its outer boundaries. As the familiar star patterns of Earth warp and twist into unrecognizable shapes far behind us, the brilliant glow of the primary Centauri system starts to become blindingly bright. Yet, we must look entirely past those dominant twin stars. We are forced to venture much further out, deep into the freezing, desolate outskirts of the local system. Out here, glowing very weakly like a dying, fading ember buried in a mound of gray ash, rests Proxima Centauri. This object is a red dwarf, a class of star so remarkably tiny that its physical dimensions are barely larger than the gas giant planet Jupiter. It generates almost no visible illumination. If you were to suddenly swap out our home sun with Proxima Centauri, high noon on Earth would instantly plunge into a dim, eerie, blood-red twilight. Red dwarfs stand as the absolute, undisputed numerical rulers of the known universe, constituting more than 70% of every single star in existence. Because they consume their internal nuclear fuel supplies at an incredibly slow, agonizingly conservative pace, Proxima Centauri is guaranteed to outlive us all. It will continue to burn steadily for trillions of years, long after our own sun swells up, obliterates the Earth, and goes dark. Proxima will remain right here, glowing faintly in a largely dead, frozen universe. However, this astonishing stellar longevity extracts a terrifyingly high price from any cosmic body trapped inside its gravitational grip. Because this parent star is so uniquely small and cold, its liquid water habitable zone is pulled perilously close to its nuclear inferno. Consequently, Proxima b is forced to orbit its host star, a staggering 20 times closer than the Earth orbits our own sun. A single calendar year on this alien world flashes by in a mere 11 Earth days. At such a suffocatingly tight distance, the fundamental laws of gravity start to warp the fabric of reality. The very moment you set foot onto the solid surface of Proxima b, any comforting illusion of a second Earth shatters into pieces. You are standing upon a fractured, stressed world, actively torn apart by the relentless, unyielding gravitational anchoring force of its star. Because it circles its sun so tightly, the planet has become tidally locked, meaning it is completely unable to rotate freely. One entire hemisphere is permanently forced to face the blinding star forever, while the opposite side is cursed to stare eternally into the empty black abyss of deep space. If you choose to touch down on the perpetual day side, you will witness no sunrise, experience no sunset, and find no natural rhythm of passing time. Instead, a swollen, blood-red sun hangs completely motionless in the alien sky, totally dominating the view on the horizon. It appears roughly 3 times larger than our sun looks to us, heavily scarred by gigantic dark sunspots that crawl like stellar parasites across its glowing surface. The heat on this side is utterly unyielding, and the ground itself is a sterile, scorched wasteland continuously baked by a torrent of perpetual radiation. Any surface oceans, if they ever manage to form here, boiled away into the cold vacuum of space billions of years ago. If you walk toward the night side of the planet, however, you instantly cross over into a completely different variety of nightmare. You enter a perpetual domain of endless darkness and paralyzing, bone-chilling cold, where surface temperatures plummet to hundreds of degrees below zero. It is so unbelievably cold on this dark side that the planetary atmosphere itself actually freezes solid, collapsing straight down to the ground as a permanent blanket of toxic snow. It is a completely silent, frozen tomb, forever buried beneath a night that never ends. Yet there does exist a frontier between these two distinct hellscapes. A razor-thin ring encircling the planet that separates the blistering day from the frozen night, known as the Terminator Line. Along this narrow band, the red sun sits locked forever on the local horizon, casting incredibly long, distorted, and grotesque shadows across the jagged rock formations. For a long time, astronomers desperately hoped that this permanent twilight zone might be the one spot where environmental temperatures were moderate enough to support alien life. But the radical atmospheric friction generated between the boiling day side and the freezing night side triggers a violent, unstoppable, and total atmospheric collapse. Supersonic global winds, howling along at hundreds of miles per hour, rip across the Terminator Line without a single moment of pause. It is a chaotic world of perpetual twilight, utterly drowned out by endless, deafening windstorms. And yet, these screaming winds are the absolute least of your problems, because the true, underlying horror of Proxima Centauri is its highly unstable nature. own sun is a remarkably peaceful, stable star, and we are heavily shielded from its outbursts by a vast physical distance and a powerful planetary magnetic field. Proxima b enjoys no such natural luxury. Red dwarf stars are notoriously unstable, highly volatile, and heavily prone to sudden fits of extreme cosmic rage. As you stand out in the dim red twilight, the dark sky above you suddenly begins to shift dramatically. Without even a single second of advanced warning, the twisted magnetic fields of the parent star violently snap apart, and a monstrous stellar flare erupts. This is a super explosion hundreds of times more energetic than any solar flare our own sun has ever unleashed throughout history. Because the planet is nestled so incredibly close to the star's surface, there is absolutely nowhere to seek shelter. In a tiny fraction of a heartbeat, the blood-red sky flashes with a blinding, brilliant, and searing white light. A colossal, unstoppable tsunami of extreme ultraviolet rays and high-energy X-ray radiation slams directly into the planet. It strikes the vulnerable surface with a devastating, sterilization-level impact force. The radiation functions like an invisible, planet-wide incinerator. This energy physically strips away the delicate upper layers of the planet's atmosphere, violently ripping the gases away and scattering them out into the void of space. The bare ground is instantly bathed in highly lethal doses of raw energy. Any complex organic molecules, along with any faint chance of biological life developing, are instantly shredded apart on a subatomic level. The exposed surface rocks themselves actually begin to glow under the weight of this extreme bombardment. This place is not a sanctuary for mankind. It is a cosmic slaughterhouse. We eagerly cast our collective hopes toward the world of Proxima b, searching for the nearest shore across the great cosmic ocean and praying that we might find a new home. But the wider universe was simply not designed for human comfort. It remains incredibly harsh, completely indifferent to us, and strictly governed by brutal, unforgiving laws of physics. Proxima Centauri stands as a stark, terrifying reminder of just how fragile our cosmic existence truly is. We currently reside inside a rare, blessed golden bubble of absolute safety, peacefully orbiting a quiet, remarkably stable star. Far beyond the edges of our orderly solar system, the void of space is incredibly vast, and its many shores are violently hostile to life. This closest supposedly habitable world is nothing more than a cruel cosmic mirage, a fractured world defined by eternal fire, eternal ice, and punishing storms, continuously bathed in a deadly sea of lethal radiation. For the foreseeable future, we remain completely, utterly, and profoundly alone in the dark.